Hi guys, so we're going to continue with attempting to repush. Um, I have a mixed and complicated environment, so that's why we had some bugs in the last video. Hopefully it should work right now. Um, I did a little workaround, and things are probably not going to look exactly the same for you, but it should still be functional. So I'm going to publish this branch to upstream. Let me have a look. Let's take a look. Okay, there are now two branches. You can now see master branch and portfolio branch, right? Looking at the statistics, notice that you see something here, and it says 3 commits ahead of master, and that's correct. Basically, this was a copy off of master branch, and there are 3 commits ahead. Now, I could literally go and click on this, and it will actually show me the code for this branch. Notice the URL change now. DigiNinja tree portfolio, and that's basically the branch on GitHub for portfolio. If we go into week 4, you'll actually see our code changes. What's really interesting though about make sure I'm in the right make sure I'm in the branch again. 2 branches portfolio. What's really interesting about GitHub is the web view will actually show you what's going on in the commit history. Notice we made 3 commits. Well, we can click on this commits link right here, and we can actually see what the commits are, right? So let's take a look. Let's click on this one, initial commit, right? If we click on this commit, hey, I can click here, I can click here, it doesn't matter. I'll click here for now, right? It will, there are some files that it doesn't want to show the diff because they're big, but basically other files, like this is a created file, so you'll see all these plus lines, and that would indicate these are added lines and things like that, right? This isn't really where it shines. Let's see where it shines about right here when we first connected Bootstrap. So we'll click on, this time we'll click here on this thing is hash. And notice it shows you the differences, right? And so you can do unified or you can do split. Maybe split might take longer. But basically it'll show you like this is what it was before the commit. All commits are identified by this sequence of alphanumerics, and it's called a hash. You don't really have to know too much about it. I'm just telling you right now, and that you can see this was how it was before, without those extra lines, and this is how it is now. So this was the change for this commit. That's why it makes reviewers it makes it really easy for reviewers to see what code you've been changing over time, because we can look through the commit history. Also notice like this one will probably have some interesting things like adding the header tag, right? Like so you can see this simple 1-line change. So now, as you can see, the branch is now available in Portfolio, and that was great. Now moving on to creating a pull request. I can only create a pull request once the branch is available, right? And it's pretty easy to do. I can basically go here to I can go to my branches tab again. So I'll go back to the code, and then I'll go to the branches tab, and then we see portfolio here. Notice there's a new pull request button here. You could do it here. You can create a pull request here, or you can create it here. New pull request. It doesn't really matter. I'll do it here for now. If you do it at the branch level though, it will try to auto populate all these things for you, right? And basically what it's doing is it's comparing against branches, right? So the difference between the portfolio branch and Trinity EDU DigiNinja master branch is only 3 commits, because all the other commits are the same, right? Same code changes and same hash. But because of that, when it opens a pull request, this is basically how you're going to submit your assignment. You're probably going to name it portfolio and then dash with your name. So in this case, the name would be Trinity Demo Student. But you would populate your first and last name here. You can leave comments here if you want to. It's helpful. The more comments you leave, it's very helpful if you can do that. And you'll basically create a pull request right here. And that's it, really. So notice notice this is the important part of the pull request, right? We want to make sure you are attempting to merge into master. It doesn't mean that the reviewer is actually going to merge your code into his code. That's not necessarily what's going to happen. The very fact that we've attempt to create a pull request, which this username, student username, and this branch, trying to merge it into this username and this branch, it just helps the reviewer, right? And so at this point, what's going to happen is, as a reviewer, I would have gotten a notification. I'm actually going to open GitHub. Actually go to this URL. Okay. So notice now there are pull requests in this tab. I would have received a notification for this, but I'm not going to show you that for now. But now in this browser, in this Chrome browser, I'm logged in as me, not the student, but me, as the mentor. So I will go here and click on this here, and I will start commenting, right? Let's move this here. Let's move this to the side so we can have some view. So I'm going to look at this commit, right? And I'm going to review. I'm going to start commenting, right? I can, make changes if I want to, but I should probably just be commenting in general. So I'll click on a commit. I'll review changes. Let me see. I can leave information here. I can request changes, or I'm actually not. I probably won't be using this feature as much, but I will clone your code most likely, and I will make comments, and I'll see. Okay, this code needs improvement. Please make changes in different areas that are specified. I just added a comment. Now the comment just reflected on this browser here is the student one, and the mentor just commented on the student. Maybe I want to make something a bit more detailed. Maybe I'll go to the files changed, and maybe I want to add a comment, right? So I may click here and leave a comment and say, please use the Bootstrap theme.css instead of the Bootstrap theme.min.css for dev purposes. I'll add comments like that, and those comments again will appear right at the student. So the student will know which file I've asked for changes for and which line I may have asked for changes for, right? And as a student, I will reply, but I want to include these changes for performance reasons. Please reconsider. So as a student, I made this comment. Now this is probably going to come back to me at some point. Hopefully. I may have to refresh. Yeah. So then I'll reply, I see what you mean. I think I am okay with this change. And then maybe I might comment somewhere else. Say, it is nice that you have a header. Please consider adding more design. Okay. And basically, I mean, we can comment back and forth on different lines of code here and things like that. And you can see how the conversation is back and forth. Like this is the student view, and this is the mentor's view. But then I can go back and say, okay, in all reality, I am not. I can just say, please make the changes that I have specified in the comments. Okay, and then basically, I may not be satisfied as the mentor. I may not be satisfied with the student's work, and I may say, please make the following changes and send me another pull request. So I may close and comment. Now the pull request is closed. Okay, this pull request is very important for tracking information about the flow of the student and mentor interaction, right? And so, I want to keep track of these URLs basically. So I want to post them on Canvas, and you should receive instructions on where to do that. But when you submit your portfolio, keep track of this pull request URL. That's important. So now the mentor has asked the student to make some changes, right? Well, let's see now. Let's go back to the editor. Let's see if we can make some changes. This is some more design. Wait, these are some more design changes. Okay, so again, I'm back in the student view. I'm going to add this, stage it, and then make a commit. Made some design changes per the mentor's request. Something like that. And then I'll go ahead and push. Push should work just fine this time. And I think it did. So let's go back and verify. Let's make sure the branch is actually updated. This is a student view. Let's take a look at the branches here. Okay, so 29 seconds ago, let's click on the branch. Let's see if it has my latest commit. Yep, made some design changes per the mentor's request. Great. Now I need to create another pull request. Okay. And how I do that, remember last time? I'm going to show you a different way this time. Like last time we went to the branches and we created a new pull request here. I'm just going to show you a different way this time. Just this is going to be a little longer, but I just want to show you just so you realize like why you might want to use some of the shortcuts of going to the branch and click on the button. But so I'm going to create a new pull request. But notice it automatically attempts to compare um, the Trinity EDU student demo master with the Trinity EDU the main repository master. And we don't want to create a pull request off of that. That just doesn't make any sense. So what we want to do is click on our branch and portfolio. So just a little recap, right? This is like source and target. It looks a little backwards, but that's the way it is, right? So that means we want to create a pull request attempting to merge this into this. Remember, the merge won't actually happen. We're not actually going to merge your code. In an open source repository, normally code would be merged, but because we're just grading this code, we're just going to review the pull request. So again, create another pull request. Creating a pull request. And you know what? This time I'd like to reference the old one. So I'm going to copy the URL of the old pull request and say, making changes on top of this. Added the design changes per. And what I can do in GitHub, interesting, I can use the @ sign, and then it'll automatically prompt me who I want to reference. Maybe I want to reference the actual mentor who actually graded this initially, right? So I create this pull request, and now it's a new URL. But notice there's a link to the old one. I also what I like to do even at work is I take the old pull request, like the one that I made changes on, and I take the new pull request, the one that I made changes on, and paste that URL in the comment section of the closed one. This is the closed old pull request. I just like to put it here for auditing purposes. It's not necessary, but it helps the mentor look at the chain of thought, right? We started with pull request 3 here, and now we are in pull request 4, okay? All right, so now I just create a new pull request, right? Notice, in the mentor view, because the student made the comment, this is the next pull request, right? So I can click, me as the mentor, I can click on this comment here, and it will take me to the new one, straight to the new one. All right, so looking at this again, I now see the 4th commit. Look at this. I can click this commit. Maybe I want to add changes, or I can say, I see. Thank you for making the design changes. I accept the project. And I can add that comment, right? I might go back to the main conversation of this pull request. I can say, thank you for your work. And I can, so basically, at that point, when you see this, when you see a message like this, you close, and then you copy that. Well, as a student, you can now see the pull request is closed. You copy this, post it in Canvas. And that's it. That's somewhat how the review process would work. We would use GitHub to comment on the code and interact. And this is kind of how the grading would go, like at a sort of at a line-by-line code level. So that you know exactly what the mentor is trying to communicate. You know what line of code he's talking about. You know what sort of changes he's asking you to make, and then bringing it back full circle. So that is pretty much how you create a pull request. That would be an example of how to submit the portfolio assignment, and then take the pull request URL. Notice notice this will be the pull request URL. Like the number is unique to your pull request here, right? That pull request number is unique to your pull request, and a person who's creating a different pull request will have a different number. And that's how it will work for now. Thank you.